This is the Rebel HR Podcast. If you're a professional looking for innovative, thought-provoking information in the world of human resources, this is the right podcast for you. On today's Rebel HR Rant, we're going to be talking about that dirty word, millennials. Millennials are lazy. Millennials are stupid. Millennials are idiots. Millennials are the worst. Millennials are entitled. Millennials are screwed. These are all things you will find when you type millennials are into a Google search bar. A millennial is someone who was born between 1980 and 1996. If you do a little bit of math, how old are the millennials right now? That's right, millennials are turning 40 this year. I have a confession to make. I am a millennial. I was born in 1983. I grew up before the age of the internet. I had a black and white TV with rabbit ears, and every once in a while I could get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Saturday mornings. When I went to high school, the internet was starting to come around. And in college, some crazy thing called Facebook had just started. I am, quote, a lazy, stupid, entitled millennial. Except for one thing. I've been working since I graduated college. I haven't left a job before being there for at least 5 years. I've got 3 kids, I've got a mortgage, and I just paid off my student loans this year. So why do we always hear about millennials in the workplace? For me, the answer is simple. We like to clump people into groups, and then we like to blame groups that are not like us for things when they don't go right. Unfortunately, it's human nature. If we group things together, it's easy for us to categorize. That's how our brains work. But it becomes very destructive in a workplace environment. If I blame all of my organization's struggles and problems on one specific group of people, there's a word for that. Discrimination. So why is it okay in the U.S. workplace to discriminate people who are younger than me, but not older than me? Under the EEOC, it is technically legal to discriminate somebody on the basis of age as long as they're younger than 40 years old. So guess what? Millennials have job protection in 2020. But that doesn't make any sense. Why does age matter at all? The organizations that have embraced the millennial generation are the ones that are winning right now. Apple, Google, Facebook, Microsoft. Guess where that talent pool is coming from? Millennials, which also happen to be the largest group within the workforce right now. Millennials were raised in a very different time than the generations prior. We didn't need to ask a figure of authority in college to find out an answer. We could Google it. We didn't have to rely on a newspaper. We had it readily available on any search engine that we wanted. We've lived through multiple recessions now. And one of the most formative things when we were growing up was 9/11. But I would argue that this is very similar to all the other generations that came before. Baby boomers, Gen X, the greatest generation, they've all seen their fair share of struggles and challenges. They saw formative, transformational events happen within their society. They weathered recessions, just like millennials. They had to work hard, just like millennials. They had things to overcome and barriers to knock down, just like millennials. At the end of the day, all of the generations have more in common than they have in difference. We have to be aware that despite the year that we were born, we all face similar challenges and struggles at work. And as HR professionals, it's our job to ensure that we have inclusive environments that allow people to succeed, regardless of the arbitrary year that they happen to be born in. And let's understand that when we say the word millennial, we're basically just complaining about kids these days, which every generation prior has complained about. Follow us on Facebook at Rebel HR Podcast, Twitter at Rebel HR Guy, or see our website at rebelhumanresources.com. The views and opinions expressed by Rebel HR Podcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any of the organizations that we represent. No animals were harmed during the filming of this podcast.
baby.